Hey, hey, what's going on? What is going on? What's going on, people? This is your boy, Chris Thompson, one half of that dynamic duo that's putting together the Phoenician Classic, going down September 4th, 2. Totally messed it up. Let me try that again. What's going on? This is your boy, Chris Thompson, one half of that dynamic duo that's putting on the Phoenician Classic that's going down September 4th, 2021. All right, it's going down 2021. Just bear with me here. I'm trying to figure out what is going on with my notes here. I had my notes up and now my notes disappeared. Hey, Kaden, man, listen up, Kaden. You pop in here every week. I want to bring you on, like right now. You game? If you game to come on right now, in the comments say I'm game. In the comments right now, I want to bring you on for a live interview, man. Like, I've been trying to get you on here for a minute, and I see you pop in, and then you'll disappear on me before I can get you on here. So if you game to come on, type I'm game in the comments. Oh, and he made a request. That's my man. He said, let's go. It's go time. That's my dude.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, boss?
Yeah, I've been jumping in here quite a few times, and I was like, I'm always here. So,
Yeah, I know. I was like, I seen you pop in a couple of times. I was like, I got to get this guy on the camera because he pops in every week, like just to come check us out and to come,
yeah,
get some info on the show. And man, and it's like I just had to bring you on, dude. So like, I'm just gonna do an improv interview with you because it's my actually
let's
real
do it, man.
first time really truly meeting you face to camera.
For sure, for sure. What questions you got, my man?
All right, well, tell you what, let's keep it simple. We're gonna keep it real simple. How'd you get into
Yeah.
bodybuilding?
It actually started through an ex, but I fell in love with the sport overall. Ended up doing the Summer Shredding Classic in in 2019. That's the first show I ever did. Ended up winning it. I was addicted to the competition, to the betterment of myself because I'm a former collegiate athlete, and so I just missed that competition, you know. So
Right.
I've been competing ever since. I've done technically 4 or 5 preps. Only competed in one show due to COVID. So I'm excited to actually have a show to be able to go to this year. That's going to happen. So because I'm like it's not all going to be in vain this time. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Awesome, awesome. Now, okay, so you said you kind of like just got into this thing, into the realm of this then.
Yeah, and in 2019 is when I started competing. Yeah,
Okay, so how long have you been lifting, like actually getting gym time in, athletic
right.
training, stuff like that before you actually decide to compete?
For sure. It's been about like 7 or 8 years that I've actually been getting into the gym, but
Mm-hmm.
actually seriously training probably about 4 years. And like throughout those 4 years, I've tried just about every single style known to man. So I've gone through calisthenics, I've gone through powerlifting, bodybuilding, like you name it, I've probably done it. And bodybuilding just started to get so addicting to me because it was that process of just continually getting better. And so for me, it's not even about the aesthetics. It's the constant challenge that lives with you each and every single day while you're prepping. And like, there's no other sport that really does something like that. And so it's really cool for me to see or to be a part of something like that, where you can't run or escape or any of the challenge. So you kind of get to discover way more about yourself than you ever thought possible. So like, I'm in prep right now, and it's like it's still following me. Prep is still following me everywhere. You know how that goes. It's like you can't get away from it. So, but that's also the cool thing about it, for sure.
Awesome, awesome. Now, what's your athletic background?
Right. So, I'm a former collegiate baseball player,
Okay.
and so I ended up stopping that after freshman year of college to pursue academia. And so at the time I was going to be a medical doctor, and since I've stopped doing that. But yeah, I was going to like a small junior college. I played baseball all growing up. I'm also technically a former gymnast and stuff like that. That's the whole like that's the short
Okay.
form of all of my athletics. But yeah, primarily baseball. I was a baseball catcher all the way up through college. And what's crazy is that as a collegiate catcher, I'm 5'11", and I was at like 155 pounds, which
Holy
was like
crap.
tiny. Yeah, it's
You're a
absolutely tiny
tiny
guy.
catcher.
Exactly. Well, here's the best part. So like there were so many bad habits that I had. Like literally, whenever I got out on my own, I didn't have my parents telling me what to eat anymore. So I had cereal and buttered bread at every single meal, and that was it. And looking back on that, I'm like, how did I not die? Like I didn't have any micronutrients or anything. And so that's the cool thing about bodybuilding as well, as it kind of pulled me out of that and allowed for me to have something to pursue, a niche to pursue almost. So yeah, it's been pretty cool.
That's what's up, man. That's like very impressive, dude. Like I'm really impressed with you being a catcher at that height and weight because a few years back I coached a gentleman that actually went to Pepperdine to play catcher, but he was like 6'4". He was like massive catcher. So when you told me your height, I was like, oh my God, dude, just thinking about these guys coming in to home plate and you got to make that collision.
Yeah, my backup catcher to me was outweighed me by 50 pounds, and there were actually like 5 catchers on the team, but I was the smallest by 50 pounds, and so I can only imagine if I were the size that I am right now, actually going back and playing baseball, like, you know, the temptations there at all times. Like, I want to go back to it. I think everybody has that, but at the same time, it's like, that's part of my past and my future has a lot more to hold. So anyways, now I actually get to be a part of other baseball players' journeys where I actually coach them. Like I go through and I train, I do like all the training and the sports performance and stuff like that. Now that's kind of like my side job. So I'm in the fitness space 24/7. So it's really cool because as you probably know, coaching is probably significantly more rewarding than actually doing it yourself. And so it's been a cool journey. Yeah, it's been a really cool journey, especially for me to be able to take the knowledge that I've gotten from bodybuilding, strength athletics, my education, all that, and to be able to apply it back to basically myself 5 years ago. It's such a cool journey. And I've got nothing but positive things to say about bodybuilding, strength training, anything like that, anything fitness, honestly.
That's what's up, man. Oh my God. It's always like great to hear, like, because you're an athlete. I consider you an athlete because of all the different realms of fitness you got yourself involved in. It really makes you say, man, you're an athlete, because it's kind of like an all around sport. Even though baseball was your priority, was your primary, you did touch bases with all other things. Now, what I'm curious of is, like, once you got away from kind of like baseball training and started learning like different other elements of training, whether it's powerlifting, bodybuilding, calisthenics, what was the one thing that kind of like it like hit you and you're like, oh my God, I never realized like how important this aspect of fitness was?
And honestly, that's a really great question, because this is something that I tell people all the time. It's the fact of how little effort you actually have to take or have to put forth to see massive results. And that literally changed that. Like I mean, it sounds like I don't work hard. I work hard, I promise. But like, people don't realize that literally just getting into the gym for 15 to 30 minutes changes their entire life. And it either A, provides structure, or B, like you can actually see like the tangible results just with that little effort, and just remaining consistent. Because everybody wants to jump into a new fitness program and go and spend 5 days per week, an hour to 2 hours in the gym, and they're like, I'm going headlong into it. I'm like, no, start with 15 minutes 3 times a week. Once you hit that, then you can start going on to it. You want to do something that you can consistently hit. And I mean, consistency is the name of the game, but also getting in and just putting in just that little amount of effort. And after that, your passion will grow, because you don't want to hate what you do in any way, shape, or form. Because you see so many people, they jump full on into some sort of extreme diet or some sort of extreme gym program, thinking that they're going to lose 20 pounds in a month, you know? And it's like, you and I know, and most of the people know that are watching this, that's not healthy in any way, shape, or form. We know what it's like because we're constantly going up and down in weight. We're like, okay, it's just proper applied knowledge and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the main thing I would say, is just consistency and hard work. I mean, you hear it from everybody. It sounds so freaking cliche, but right? Like, I mean, that's literally what it is. That's 100% what it is. And it's not even that much that you just can't overcommit to everything. Eventually it's going to be there. Like for me, going into the gym 90 minutes per day, that is not an issue for me in any way, shape. It's part of who I am now. Like, I don't make that decision to go to the gym each and every single day, but for each and every single other person, they're going to have to make that decision to, I want to go and take 15 minutes out of my day to go hop in the gym. They're not going to make the decision to go do that 90 minutes. But that's the longest way I could answer your question possible. I just realized that.
No. Well, you covered a lot of groundwork, man, because like, you never know, like, and for you and I, yeah, it's cliche to hear that, okay, consistency is the thing. Consistency is the thing. Sometimes people need to hear it from a different voice or a different
Oh yeah.
standpoint or a different angle in order for it to start to register. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, even though the answer is the same, the messenger is different. The message
Oh yeah.
that is delivering has a different
Mm-hmm.
point of view of how they got to that point.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so yeah, man. So like, you know, it is what it is, you know, even though,
Yeah.
because we're at that end point where we're like, okay, yeah, we know it's consistency. But
Yeah.
somebody else is like, okay, yeah, I know it's consistency, but let me hear his point
Mm-hmm.
of view of how he got to that consistency.
Right. And
So,
even more than that, I mean, a lot of people view us as like these absolute machines that hit macros or hit our diet or hit our workout plan 100% of the time. And in reality, that does not happen. Like even for, or like competitors, like that, there's no, I've yet to coach or meet a single competitor that's been perfect through the entire prep. And
right,
in fact, like usually we're derailing constantly, but it's not the fact that you went off the tracks, it's the fact that you got back on
right.
and continued on your prep and just didn't change from that. Because a lot of people, like I talk to people all the time, they're like, yeah, I went strong for 30 days. And then I ended up having a crazy weekend, and then I had to start my program all over again. I'm like, no, you don't have to start your program all over again. I did last year, 2 years ago, whenever I did my 2019 prep for summer shredding,
Uh-huh.
8 weeks out, for some reason, I thought it was a great idea for me to do a cheat day where I ate 16,000 calories in a single
Oh
day.
my God.
And yeah, 8 weeks out from competition. And that's before I had a coach myself. And because I was doing it all myself at that time. And then
Uh-huh.
my coach ended up getting to me. He's like, what the heck are you doing, dude? Because I was so far behind during that. But I mean, that's another thing is like, if you have these massive goals, you have to have accountability and have that event at the end of it that is actually going to take place. So whether it be you have strength goals and you want to have either get into a powerlifting meet or a mock powerlifting meet or a max test or something like that, set an end date. So it's, for example, like coming to the Phoenician Classic and stepping up on stage, I have to be ready for that. Like there is no way that I'm just going to drop it, you know? And,
Right.
and so I think that so many people miss out on that. They're like, oh, I want to be shredded by summer, or I want to have abs by summer. Okay. When does summer start? What's that event? When are you going to post that before and after picture or whatever it might be? What is that, you know? And so that's one thing that I love about bodybuilding as well, is it kind of shows people it shows them an extreme almost of what they need to do, but that event at the end of it. And whenever you step up on stage, it's not me showing off my physique. It's me showing off the last 12, 20, 30 weeks that I've poured my heart and soul into it.
Right.
It's showing that point A to point B, you know? And so it's inspiring to just be there at an event, seeing so many other people that have struggled for however long they prepped for. And everybody's there and looking at each other and making eye contact. Like, every show that I've been to, it's been such a positive environment. I'm excited to be at the Phoenician Classic, but like everybody's looking at each other with a mutual respect. Like you're here, you made it through this, you know? And nobody's like, while you do want to win, we're all competitors here.
Right.
Nobody's sitting there like, oh man, I really hope that guy spills. I really hope that guy just doesn't hit his pose right. You know, everybody wants everybody to do the best. That's one thing I noticed about the fitness space, whether it be powerlifting, strongman, like you name it. It's such a positive community, generally speaking, unless you've got your
You always have your exceptions to the rule.
yeah, exactly. There are exceptions to the rule, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, those are the people that get a lot of attention for mainstream.
Yeah.
But like within the competitiveness inside of the fitness space, that's one of the cool things about it. So, but yeah, man. I mean, I don't even remember what the original question was.
It's okay.
I will hop on a soapbox any day. You know?
No, man, this is beautiful because like you gave me because you're speaking to, we're having a conversation now. So I feel like I don't even have to ask interview questions. Like we're just having a conversation now.
For sure, my man.
Perfect. Because, you know, it not only allows me to get to know you, it allows you to get to know me, and it allows anyone that's viewing to get to know us and kind of get an insight of how we think and how we process information. So
definitely, man.
So like that was like one thing that that kind of hit me between the eyes was that when you talked about when you were speaking about having a deadline, like, and that's one of the key things that and I participate in so many different sports because I'm like ancient.
Oh yeah, man. I love
So,
it.
but the one key thing that every coach I've ever had, whether it's a powerlifting coach, whether it's a strength and conditioning coach, whether it's a wrestling coach, no matter what coach I had, a football coach, no matter what coach
Mm-hmm.
I've always had, there always was a deadline.
Mm-hmm.
So when
A
you were
public
talking
deadline
about
too.
deadlines, like how critical is it for you to have a deadline in order for you to meet your target?
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, like that deadline is so important. It's also incredibly important to have that public deadline, because if I say in my own head, oh, September 1st is my deadline. Let's say, for example, I say that's my deadline, and I just keep it in my head. I don't tell anybody. I don't have an event. I don't have something to, or some other people to hold me accountable. There's no way that I'm going to do that. In fact, I'm probably going to forget about it. You know, I might go on Instagram. I might create a deadline, whatever, like whatever the countdown timer is. And then I'm going to show up at September 1st, and that little timer is going to go off and be like, oh shoot, I completely lost track of the goal, you know? And so I think it's so important for people to realize how important it is to like have those events, have those deadlines, have that goal, not just of, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds, but I want to lose 20 pounds by 3 months, 4 months, however long like you calculate out that you can get. It's important to have a community around you. It's important to have the coaches, people that know more than you, and so on and so forth. And all of those kind of culminate into this results that you get to show off on that specific day. And most people, they don't come at it with the right approach. They're like, you know, I want all the results, but I don't want to put in all the effort or the investment or anything like that, you know? And again, I'm not harping on anybody like that, but like as a coach myself, I see this all the time. I know that you see this all the time, where people jump in and they're like, oh, I've got a wedding that I have to be ready for here in 2 weeks. Okay, how much weight are you wanting to lose? I'm wanting to lose 40 pounds. Literally had a person come to me and do that. I'm like, okay, well, we're not water cutting 40 pounds. Sorry, that's not happening.
Okay, what limb do you want me to cut off?
Exactly. But I mean, that's the thing is like, if you can consistently apply yourself to something for 90 days plus, you're going to be able to create that habit. And what people don't realize is that habit, all it is it's something that I don't have to take energy to choose to do anymore. So if I create a habit of going to the gym, I no longer choose to go to the gym each and every single day. That's just something that I do. It's just like, for example, if I were to say, I don't eat dessert before dinner, I don't make that decision each and every single day. There are days that I kind of want to, but I don't make that decision just because like that's so ingrained in my psyche, if you will. It's a habit where I don't make that decision. I don't take energy to make that decision. And so whenever people hear habits, they're like, oh, I just have to keep doing something over and over again. It's like, no, you just have to figure out what's the system that I can put into place that I don't make that decision anymore. It just happens, you know, whether that be like on my way home, before I even get into my car, I'm going to take my pre-workout. I'm going to hop into my gym clothes and put my running shoes on, something that's like ridiculously simple that just gets you into the gym, gets you out on a run, whatever you're going to do that's going to be active that day, like something simple that just gets you to do that. And that's so ridiculously important. That's something that I know a lot of physique competitors will do, even though a lot of people love to get in the gym. Towards the end of prep, you do not want to be in the gym to save your life. You're like, okay, what am I going to do to survive this session? How many scoops of pre-workout is it going to take for me to make it through this session? You know, in fact, I'm actually sitting out in the parking lot of my gym right now, and that's why I usually pop on here, because I get to the gym right around usually go live.
Oh my God,
So,
dude, hold up the gym session. Did you take pre-workout yet?
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, okay, let me get you off here before that burns
I know,
up.
you're good, man. Dude, I took this like an hour ago. It's gone.
Oh my God.
Fine.
So last question before I can get you out of here so you can get your work done. All right. So a lot of stuff we've been talking about has mostly been a lot of mindset stuff.
Oh yeah.
This is going to be a softball question. What pre-workouts you like to use? That's what people kind of want to know. What are you using? What pre-workouts are you using?
Right. So I'm not sponsored or anything like that. I like to do anything that's a non-proprietary blend. Their stuff just works for me. It hits really well. I've also heard Outwork Nutrition is pretty good as well. I haven't tried that one personally, And then if you want something that hits a little bit less hard, because BPN has like 320 milligrams of caffeine in it, Ghost also has some really good stuff. I know those are kind of some of the mainstream ones, but no proprietary blends, all transparent labels and stuff like that. There's a bunch of other good ones out there. Like, I've got nothing but positive things to say about virtually anyone that I've had. If you walk into a GNC, they're gonna sell you the one that's probably most garbage, if in my opinion. Like, I've met the people that are in there, and it's like, okay, if you're gonna go out and you're going to choose a pre-workout, find somebody that's not sponsored and take their word for it. So like for me, again, BPN's a good one. Ghost is one that's it hits a little bit less hard. And then I've heard things about Outward Nutrition. Haven't tried it personally. Those are my favorites. But the main thing is, and you know this as well, but I just have to say it as a coach in conscience, right? You don't need pre-workout. You don't need post-workout. If you're going to have any supplement, please make it creatine. Creatine is safe. It's the most studied thing out there. Pure creatine monohydrate, 5 grams per day, and you can do it for the rest of your life. That's perfectly fine. That's coming from me. And then after that, then you can start adding things on. But most importantly, have everything else in line: nutrition, training, everything else. Then the supplements are the tip of the iceberg. That's what's going to get you that last 10%. The other 90%, I don't care what pre-workout you take, what anything you take and you put in your body. If you're eating 4,000 calories of donuts per day, you are not going to look like a physique competitor. It's not going to happen. Sorry. It's just, and people realize this, but I have to use that extreme example for them to realize it, you know? So, but yeah, man, those are the supplements that I take. And that's about it. I mean, I'm a natural competitor, so I don't get to put anything in my arm to make me big or anything like that. So I'm not a fan of any of that personally, but yeah.
Well, man,
vitamins.
Hey, man, you know, I really appreciate you coming on and
of course, man.
a ton of gems. I'm gonna let you go get your workout on because I know you got 16 weeks before I see you in Phoenix.
Oh yeah, man. I got 15 weeks because I'm hitting Dallas, and then I'm gonna try to compete for you guys.
Cool.
Oh yeah, man.
So yeah,
for
absolutely.
sure.
So brother, have a great workout. I'm glad you popped on, man. I'm looking forward to actually chatting with you again, probably right around 6 at 5, about 6 weeks out from Dallas. Let's chat again.
Let's do it, man. You'll always see me on here, so if you want me on, just let me know.
Absolutely. Take it easy, boss.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
There you have it, man. Listen, there's some great natural athletes out there, guys. Like, there are some truly great natural athletes out there that's just like, you guys are out there ready to go, ready prime prep, ready to go for like to display everything you got going on with your physique. Like, what I encourage you to do is simply this: like, before you decide to like jump into a whole nother arena, where as far as an untested show, man, step inside the natural scene, see exactly what you are fully capable of doing naturally before you even go to another whole, before you even decide to go to a whole nother side of the ball game. Me myself personally, I'm a lifetime natty. Never had any desire to actually do anything else because the people I was always training with or lifting with, I had the same strength levels, or if I didn't have the same strength levels, I was maybe 50, 60 pounds less as far as strength levels. So I didn't see any benefit for me to actually use PEDs. I was just always within that neck of the realm of being of hanging with people that were on PEDs. So like what I always tell people is simply this, man: tap into your body's best natural potential and tap into it fully, and then make that decision after that. Once you feel like you exhausted all of your natural ability, then once you hit that crossroad, then you figure out what to do from there. All right. But I would say stay natural, stay natural the whole way through, because you got a whole life to live in front of you. This is just a small fraction of what's going to happen. This little fraction of getting ready for a show, this fraction of like staying in shape inside the gym, it's just a fraction of what your entire life is going to be. So man, I want to thank Katie for coming on and like just dropping those gems on us real quick. And then I'm just going to close this out by simply saying this, guys. Phoenician Classic is 16 weeks out. Normally, I give you guys a whole list of shows that's going to happen before the Phoenician Classic. Not going to do that today. We just got 30 minutes of gems. So if you missed it, hit the rewind thing on the Instagram Live and watch my man drop these gems from start to finish. We just had a great conversation. All right, guys, officially 16 weeks out from the Phoenician Classic, going down September 4th, 21. I keep wanting to say 2000 something else, but it's 2021. It's this 21 thing that's messing me up. But guys, Phoenician Classic September 4th. Hope to see each and every one of you there. You got questions, concerns, complaints, please do not hesitate. Shoot me a DM or shoot me an email at phoenicianclassic@phoenicianclassic.com. And man, I'm here. I'm here for any questions you may have. What's going on, Bob? I'm wrapping this up, Bob. You stepped in here too late, Bob. I'm wrapping it up. The official WNBF just popped in here, guys. Bob, you got anything you want to say right quick? Type in the comments, and I'll bring you on. If you want me to bring you on, I'll bring you on, Bob. Type in the comments, bring me on. I'll bring you on right quick. But other than that, guys, man, we got some great shows on the calendar. Go to World. Hey, what's up, Bob? Just in case you guys want to know, the WNBF official vice president Bob Bell he always kind of chimes in to get in here. If you guys missed my interview with him 2 weeks ago, just go to the IG live from 2 weeks ago, and man, you'll be able to see that interview where Bob also dropped some gems. Oh, you got to they say I got a class. Oh, Bob's got a class to give, so he won't pop in today. But yeah, like I said, other than that, if you guys got questions, if you got concerns, you got complaints, I take them all. I'm not scared of your complaints. All right, I ain't scared. All right, I ain't scared of your complaints. So if you got questions, concerns, complaints, do not hesitate. Drop me a DM. Email phoenicianclassic@phoenicianclassic.com. Man, let's just have a conversation. All right, let's just have a conversation, and I'm hoping to see each and every last one of you in about 16 weeks. All right, y'all, be easy. Have a great, powerful day. All right, later.